Sup everyone, it's Draco Evolve. This is your weekly roundup of everything related to Manchester United and news that you may or may not have missed this past week. This is episode 2. Just a quick disclaimer, I've got the quick links in the should be coming up in the bottom part of this video, so if you want to jump onto different segments of the video, feel free. Although all the news that I'm covering today, I find it interesting anyway, so give it a try, give it a watch through start to finish, and let's jump straight in. First up, Bruno Fernandes has come out and given his sort of message to us Manchester United fans in this current pandemic. As you can see, I cannot play the audio, obvious reasons, but he has been saying that we should be keeping safe and controlling the virus. He understands that we want to watch football and get back into football, but with this current situation, we're gonna have to hold our horses just a little bit. Manchester United chief executive has come out and gave his thoughts on the impact that the current coronavirus pandemic has had. He discussed the club's response to the crisis and its impact on football. Speaking on the call, Woodward said, "I'd like to reinforce that our thoughts are with everyone affected by the pandemic, and especially those who have lost people close to them. Our top priority has been doing what is necessary to help slow the spread of the virus, and that will remain our guiding principle." On behalf of everyone at Manchester United, I want to pay tribute to the heroic work being done by the NHS and all key workers in fighting the virus. We are proud to support those efforts with club medical supplies, protective equipment and food donated to local hospitals and gift packs to NHS workers. We've heard about it, we're a bit of a classy club, and it's good to see that Manchester United are doing their part in this recent crisis, especially when other clubs, not gonna name names, have been doing slightly the opposite. He's also had a say in what is going to be a very strange transfer window. This is what he has to say. Despite this underlying resilience, Woodward stressed the need for realism about the impact of the pandemic. He cautioned that nobody should be under any illusions about the scale of a challenge facing everyone in football, and it may not be business as usual for any clubs, including ourselves, in the transfer market this summer. As ever, the priority is the success of team, but we need visibility of the impact across the whole industry, including timings of the transfer window and the wider financial picture before we can talk about a return to normality. On this basis, I cannot help feeling that speculation around transfers of individuals playing for hundreds of millions of pounds this summer seems to ignore the realities that face the sport. So there you have it. This is what Ed Woodward has come out and said recently, and as I said in plenty of my videos before, I reckon this is not going to be a very normal transfer window. The important thing is getting this virus concluded and getting football back on track. Next up, Kieran McKenna has come out and said Brandon Williams and Mason Greenwood has the mental edge, and it is the key factor behind their rise to the first team success. We all know how much of a talent Mason Greenwood has been, and it's been such a wonderful sight to see Brandon Williams come in and challenge Luke Shaw for his left back position, and both are being young. This is what he actually said. You need to have standard attributes physically, and you need to have standard attributes technically to be able to be in consideration. But that will probably account for most of our under 23s squad. You're often looking at the mental edge and the characteristics of the players who can handle the step up from a mental point of view, who respond well to pressure, who like playing on the big stage and playing with big boys and playing in front of crowds. Certainly with the boys who are in and around the first team now, those are the bits that you're trying to work on, that you're trying to push, that you're trying to make sure that they're really solid on, because technically and physically most of them are able to make that step up very often is how they handle the mental jump, which a couple of them have done really well this year. That's probably the bit that determines whether they can break in and hopefully stay in. No doubt we have a lot of talent coming through our youth ranks. Finally, we got the likes of Brandon Williams and Mason Greenwood, of course, but also Mejbri looks like a great talent. James Garner looks like another great talent. We also got Angel Gomez and Tai Chong. Unfortunately, we have not seen many of them this season. Could it be a fact that mentally they are not there yet, according to Kieran McKenna? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, Kieran McKenna has hinted that a return to training in May maybe is on the cards. At the moment, we are working towards, touchwood, the lockdown loosening after the next deadline and being able to return to some sort of training. We are working to that schedule at the moment, but if we have to push back again, we have got a plan B and C already prepared. I think everyone is probably aware that the league has to take precedence in terms of if there was a limited timescale. That is something that has been discussed. Obviously, the FA Cup is more important for the country and important for us as a club as well. The schedule is looking tight towards the end of the season. It seems the European competitions are really keen to start in August as well. In my opinion, in terms of when the league will be starting, I reckon they're going to scrap a lot of the local club competitions such as the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. I think the focus is going to be mainly getting the league finished. Although as a United fan, I would love it if the season was voided. Lastly, in this episode of Manchester United news, Harry Maguire believes Manchester United are on the right track to be challenging for the Premier League titles in the near future. He said, "I think you can see from the start of the season, we look a lot more like a team. We can probably see where we want to go, where we want to head. I knew when I first came to United that Oli said to me, loads and loads is a building process, but we'll be where we want to be. I can see where we're heading and the style where he wants to implement on the team. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of aspects we need to improve to get to the top of where we want to be. We don't want to be challenging for this Champions League spot, we want to be challenging for titles. We know there's still a lot of improvement to get there, but we're on the right track and I'm sure eventually we will get there." So there you have it in terms of what Harry Maguire has come out and said. I think he has the right mentality. It's the execution that is most important. I've got a question for you guys. How many years will it take for Manchester United to be finally challenging for the Premier League? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So there you have it. This was all the latest Manchester United news that happened this past week. I do have my Discord link in the pinned comment section below. If you want to get to know me a bit more, hang about, chill, then feel free to join the Discord. It is a small community and it is growing steadily, so be part, get in there early. And as always guys, I'll catch you guys in the next upload and stay fun.